Hi guys, welcome to the channel. So as a part of this video, I'm going to take an interview for one of my subscriber. His name is Naresh and his total year of experience is 2.3. He contacted me on my mail ID and he said me that he wants me to take an interview for him. So this interview is for everyone whose experience is in between 1 to 3 years, and I will be asking him questions related to manual testing skills. It's a mock interview, so let's welcome him first.
Yeah,
Hey
hi,
Naresh,
bro.
how are you?
Yeah, I'm doing good. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing good. I'm doing good. So your total year of experience is 2 years and 3 months, is it?
Yeah,
Okay, wonderful. I have already said as an introduction video that your experience is 2.3 years and your name is Naresh. And today I will be asking you questions based on manual testing skills. And my
okay.
questions will range from anyone whose experience is in between 1 to 3 years. So I will be asking questions in between that. Is it fine?
Yeah, sure. That's
Yeah,
fine.
definitely, definitely. Okay. Are you comfortable?
Yeah, I'm pretty much comfortable.
Okay. I don't want you to have any kind of tension. Be relaxed. Need not worry
Yeah.
about anything. Okay. So Naresh, can you please tell me first that which all application? I mean, have you worked on only web-based application or have you worked on mobile-based application as well?
So basically, I have worked on web-based application and desktop application. I didn't work on.
Standalone. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have experience with the mobile application like a freelancer. I mean, for my personal use, I have worked on mobile-based application, but
Got
not in a professional.
got it.
Professional
Got it.
manner.
No issues. No issues.
Yeah.
And have you worked on performance testing?
No, only I have experience only in the functional testing.
Got it, got it, got it. And I understand, but I just asking you, have you worked on web security testing?
No,
Okay, no issues. Have you worked on API testing?
API testing I have worked on, but it's completely like I can say it is kind of different. The way we used to work. I mean, like we will be working on either Postman or SoftwareTestingbyMKT, right?
Yeah.
So, but in my project, it is like we have a specialized custom tool for web services. So we use that tool for the same web services testing also. So I don't have any experience with Postman or SoapAI kind of tool.
Okay.
So
No,
with that,
I'm just asking. The reason I'm asking this question is because if you tell me that you have a knowledge on API testing, I mean, even though you have a knowledge of maybe theoretical, I will be asking those questions.
yeah, sure,
So API, you are comfortable, right? I mean, I can ask theoretical questions, is it?
yeah,
Okay, sure. Hey, no need to worry, Naresh. In case you don't know any answer, you can just tell me that I do not know. That's
yeah,
okay.
sure, no
We'll just
problem for me.
skip the question and move to next question. There is no hard and fast rule. This is just a mock interview,
Yeah, yes,
making you
I got.
comfortable. I mean, no need to panic. Be relaxed. Okay, Naresh, let's go ahead then. You can start with your introduction.
So basically, I have 2+ years of experience into testing.
Yeah.
So I have worked on functional testing, web services testing, and I have also a bit of experience in database testing also,
Okay.
MySQL Server. So and my daily routine will include executing test cases and preparing test plan and test cases, preparing test data and preparing environmental setup. All the activities for completing that testing, I will be involved in those activities.
Mhm.
So that's something I can say I can share regarding my professional experience.
Okay. And you are a single contributor of your project, or you guys work as a team? Like you have a QA team in your company.
So yeah, we have a team, but we will be having individual tasks. But if we need any if we have any doubt or if we need any help, we will reach out to our senior team members or to the leads.
Okay. Okay. Got it. Got it. And I wanted to ask, like, in your total year of experience is 2 years and 3 months. You're working the same company, or you have moved on to the different company?
No, I'm working in the same company.
Okay, okay, great, great, great. Okay, so shall we start?
Yeah, we can start.
Okay, sure. Okay, before proceeding further, I just want you to be relaxed, Naresh, because many people have conducted interview here. They will be in very tension. I have to give a pause so that they can feel relaxed. So, I mean,
Yeah,
don't be
it's okay.
that.
Like even I want to attend this mock interview because I want to know what are my positive, what are my weaknesses, where
Definitely.
I'm lagging.
Definitely.
So it helps me write like a real time interview. So I get to know where I'm lagging, and I can work
Definitely.
on those. So it
In case
will
you're not
definitely
able
help.
to answer something, that's totally okay. That's totally
Yeah.
okay. Frankly speaking, 100 people, more than 100 people contacted me for giving an interview, but no one will actually be ready to come for an interview. At the last moment, they won't come. You have come. So let's cheer for that. Be happy.
Okay.
Nothing
Thank
to
you.
lose. Okay. Okay, Naresh. If I have to ask, can you just tell me if a new requirement comes to you on an existing project that you are working on? If if a new requirement comes, maybe that requirement is a new feature, what
Okay.
will be your approach? How you proceed your testing?
So basically, first I would like to understand the I would like to understand that future. I mean, how it is fitted into the existing functionality. I mean, existing application. We have existing application, right? So how that new feature is fitting into the existing application, and what is the use case scenario, like a business case, how it will be used. Either it will be used by the end directly by the end customer, or is it used by the customer support. So we will be analyzing like a, use case scenario, business likewise, and functionality wise. What are, if there is any data that we are if there is any data, the user will be giving into that new feature. So how the data will be given? I mean, in the text format or in the new numbers, in the fields. Either it might be user ID like address or anything. So we will be I will be interested in knowing about all those details. Then what knowing about the functionality. Then we'll be proceeding further.
Okay. What I wanted to ask you is, when a new requirement is coming, uh, other than understanding the requirement, what do you do? Like, after understanding the requirement, what will be your next approach?
So after understanding the requirement, suppose let's take something like
Let's say you have a Flipkart application where earlier
yeah,
login was
okay,
possible only with Gmail ID, and I'm adding a new requirement that I can even log in with my mobile number.
okay. So like mobile number with OTP. So
Yes.
here the things will be like after understanding the requirement, I have to decide a test methodology. Like how do I need to test this one? I mean, different types of methods, right? So I need to choose a method, and then I need to figure out what are the objectives of testing. So either it is functional testing or um, uh, uh, do we need to test user? I mean UI also, and do we need to test the response time? Mostly like in my project I'm not working on that response time, but sometimes
Got it.
it will be a scenario that will be required, right? So in those cases we will be interested to test those also, like response, I mean performance testing. So
Okay.
and so for that we'll be noting down the objectives of testing. Then we'll be proceeding further, we'll be preparing the test plan. uh, what are the types of testing that we need to do in this one?
Exactly.
And
Exactly.
then test scenarios, segregating some test scenarios. Then uh, what are the data that we need for performing this testing? And then environmental setup. So it is completely like a testing life cycle. uh, then after completing that environment setup, Then if we feel that okay, everything is good, then we can proceed further. I mean, we can execute the testing. Then we can execute the test, and we can find the result, test results, either if it is a fail or a pass. So based on that, we can proceed further. If it is completely passed, then we can sign off that and send it to the further proceeding.
Yeah, sure. So, Naresh, your answer is absolutely correct, but what I was expecting is your answer is absolutely correct. If you give this answer to anyone in India, if you give this answer to anyone in India, if it's a real interview, definitely they will be impressed with your answer. But what should be your real approach is when any requirement is coming, definitely you should understand the requirement. Definitely you should write, start writing test plan. Definitely you should write, think of test scenarios. You should write test cases. You should review your test cases, get it review from your peers, approve your test cases, and finally store your test cases in your test case repository. After this, before test execution, you should prepare traceability matrix. Have you heard of this term, traceability matrix?
Yeah, requirement traceability matrix. Yeah.
Okay. Do you agree with me?
Yes, yes,
Okay.
exactly.
Okay. No issue. No issue. Just telling you that in case if you're telling in future, just keep this term in mind.
Yeah. Thank you for
So,
that.
yeah. So after traceability matrix, you will do your test execution. After test case execution, you will do defect tracking. I mean,
Yeah.
you have to tell in this order. You're getting me? So after defect tracking, it will be postmortem meeting or a project closure meeting. This should be your 100% final approach. No one can deny this.
Okay.
I mean, what you said is also 99% correct. No need to worry.
Yes, I got
Okay,
it.
great. Can you tell me few SDLC model that you have in software testing?
So we have like water. You're asking about software development lifecycle, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So we have certain process like waterfall model, V model, agile model, and spiral model. Uh, these are the models that I have heard of. But we are using the waterfall model in my project.
Okay. Okay. Why are you not looking into the camera and talking?
Sorry, actually, like I have a habit like noting down the points, so it
That's
gives
okay.
me
That's okay.
something like shows me what I have missed, something like that.
I totally understand.
uh,
Even I do that, no issues. So, okay, I was expecting at least five models. If you can just tell me, I just missed out.
Waterfall model, V model,
Okay,
yeah, okay, one more W model, agile, spiral.
okay, okay, sure. Have you heard of the term called as prototype model?
Yeah,
Okay,
I have heard of this.
if you can just tell me what are the benefits of having an prototype model?
So prototype means the word itself says the meaning. Prototype means will not be, it is like a dummy application which we can show it for customers, and we can give a demo with that prototype application for the customers. Then based on that, we can get the feedback from the customer, either they want to change anything in that prototype, or do they uh, take it as is, or something like that. So basically, the main motto of a prototype model is that one.
Great, good. Yeah, I was looking for this. Great. That's fine. Okay. Can you? So you have not worked on agile model, is it?
No,
Okay. Do you have a practical knowledge at least? What is agile model? Just asking.
like a theoretical knowledge means I have. So it basically comprises of sprints and all those. So every sprint will be duration of every sprint will be 2 weeks or 2 to 3 weeks,
I
depending
understood.
on the.
My question is not what is agile model, but my question is something else. In case you know, just answer it. No issue. So my
Okay.
question is, do you know what do you mean by sprint? What is sprint actually?
Sprint is like a short duration where a small module, I mean, not the complete project, the small modules of the project will be developed and tested. And uh, the, so the Scrum means it consists of the developers and the Scrum Master, testers, and designers. So everyone will be included in the Scrum. So they will be working in the sprint. So it will be of duration from between 2 to 3 weeks.
Correct. Okay. If my sprint is for 1 week, at the
Okay.
end of 1 week, what will happen?
So at the end of that sprint, there will be like a retrospective meeting. I'm not sure.
Okay, no, sure, tell me.
Sprint review. We can call it as sprint review. So basically, the things, the application, I mean, the modules that have been developed and what are the test activities that are done. So what are the tasks that the complete Scrum team has done in that sprint will be reviewed. And if there are any deviations, what are the reasons for that deviation? What to do to overcome those kind of deviations? I mean, not to happen. To make sure that those deviations will not occur in the future.
Okay, okay. So, like you told about the in sprint, what will happen, but when release will happen then? If my sprint is this much, when release will happen? Release means when piece of software will go into the production.
It depends. Basically, that can be quarterly based or half yearly based.
Okay,
So in this,
okay. See, sprint meaning is what you said is absolutely correct. Sprint is a duration in which we are. The main definition of my sprint is so that my duration will become smaller, and on each smaller duration I will deliver a piece of software to the customer. That means
yeah,
if tomorrow, let's say I'm opening a company, let's say MKT, and I will say that my sprint duration is let's say 2 weeks. That means every 2 weeks a piece of software will go into the production. That means if
yeah,
my sprint is starting on 1st of October and it is running till 15th of October, let's say, that means on 15th of October all the testing activity has to be done, and on 15th
yes.
of October piece of software will go into the production. That means on 15th of October there will be release.
Either is it complete release to the live environment or to just for like to the client testing.
uh, so in sprint we release it to the production. So on now
Okay,
from 16th of October, new sprint will start. That means from 15th to 30th of October, all the development activity will happen. All the development activity will happen on simultaneously basis. Testing will also happen. It is
okay,
like that. And now on 30th of October, a new piece of code will go into the production, which all are tested and verified by the QA. Is what happens in sprint.
okay.
Okay, no issue, no issue. Uh, do you know what is Epic? ECIP? Epic? Have you heard of this term?
ECI, no.
Okay, no issue, no issue. So I have uploaded a video on my agile model. Just have a look into that. You will get all the ideas, all the terms
Okay,
that are used in agile model companies. No issues.
okay.
Okay. Have you heard of the term integration testing?
Yeah.
Okay. So my question is, do you know what is Big Bang method?
Okay. Not heard of that.
Okay. Have you heard of the type of integration testing called as non-incremental integration testing?
Yeah, I think I had heard of this non-incremental,
So
but
in
not
case,
sure.
okay, okay, okay,
Not completely sure about that.
okay.
I just heard of that long back, so I didn't remember that exactly.
I understand. These are the very silly terms. In case you don't revise it, you will forget it. That's okay, no issue. So, so incremental testing, we have two types. Do you remember those two types?
Yeah, like top down and bottom up. Not
Everyone knows
exactly
this
that.
answer, but this answer is wrong.
Okay,
Okay, the two types of integration testing are my incremental integration testing and non-incremental integration testing.
okay,
And in incremental integration testing, we have two types, that is top down and bottom up.
okay. In the incremental, we have two types.
Yeah, and I said you right, non-incremental integration testing. The other
Yeah.
name of non-incremental integration testing is nothing but your Big Bang method. In an interview, this is an interview question. Anyone can ask you.
Okay.
Or this is also an ISTQB question. If you are applying for a position, if you are applying for International Software Testing Qualification Board exam, they can ask you this question. No issue. No issue. No issue. Can you explain me what happens in exhaustive testing? Like what actually mean? What is the meaning of exhaustive testing?
So basically, like exhaustive testing means complete testing of that application. I mean, each and everything, and uh, it's like complete testing. I mean, suppose there is a login functionality, we have to test all the possible scenarios for that login functionality. So that can be said as a complete exhaustive testing.
Okay. 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 Exhaustive testing mean I know if you ask anyone, they will answer this itself. But the actual definition of exhaustive testing says that, let's say if you have a username where it is written that it will accept only mobile number, requirement
Yeah,
is that it will accept only mobile number. And now when you are testing it, you are entering mobile, requirement is that it will accept only 10-digit number. And now
yeah.
while testing it, you are testing only 10-digit mobile number many times. Let's say you're testing first you have
I mean, so like when I mean to say all the possible scenarios means like here we can use boundary value analysis. Like if it is only mobile number, so it should not accept alphabets and special characters. That's one thing, and that comes under negative testing. And we should it also includes. I mean, in the test scenario, for the negative test scenario, it also includes when we supply 9-digit number. That should be that will be a negative test case. And if we supply a 11-digit number, that will also come under negative testing. So only when we supply valid 10-digit number, then only it will be allowed to, I mean, user will be allowed to log in. So that will be comes under positive testing. So likewise, so I will be segregating the all the possible test cases
okay.
using the like principles of testing and this test techniques. So using them, we will be executing. I mean, with less effort, but complete test coverage, making sure that test coverage is 100%.
Okay. Sure. Uh, okay. Do you know the principle of software testing?
Yes. So like there are seven
How many are
principles of
there?
software. Yeah, seven principles of testing are there. So
If you just tell me six, that's fine.
okay. So the first thing is absence of error in a application is a fallacy. I mean, like there is nothing like there is no error or there is no defect in an application. First
Mhm.
thing, and the second one is like uh, defect clustering. So then it depends. Like you will get to know about that with the experience on that particular application. So basically, uh, all the defects might be. I mean, most of the defects might be. Uh, you get to know about most of the defects in particular part of the application. So
Means
that's
motive.
one thing. Yeah, and the third one is exhaustive testing is not possible. I mean, complete testing, end to end testing is not possible. So I mean, it will require a lot of time. So when it requires a lot of time means it complete directly proportional to the cost mind cost for the client. So that is third one. And trying to remember that.
Okay, no issue, no issue. So one more is your testing should be context based.
Yeah, context based. Like when we are testing an application for e-commerce related, the context will be related to e-commerce. I mean, we need to think uh, in that particular domain when we are testing an application. let's say government site related thing. So we need to think in that way. So that is one more thing. Uh, let's just give me some time. I remember
Yeah, yeah. Take your time, no issue.
4 have completed, right?
Yeah.
So the remaining
So one is
look up error.
pesticide paradox.
Yeah, like if you use the same steps, same steps or same data to test a application, we might not be able to um, we might not be able to bring out new defects. Suppose we will be having a regression test suite, right? We will be performing that before release or before deployment. So if we use the same set of regression test suite for something like for 2 years, maybe we might not be able to find out new errors. So
Right.
that's one thing.
Okay.
So we need to update that test suite.
Okay. Okay. Sure. Fine. That's fine. That's okay. Uh, People will generally not ask you all seven. That's okay. Do you know what is component testing?
Component testing is nothing but unit testing. So this will be performed by the developer, basically like I mean application sorry at the program module level. So the developer will be testing whether that particular module he has worked on, he has developed is working as per the requirements or not. That will be performed by the developer.
Okay. 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 What testing do you say when you are testing a particular text field? Maybe you're logging into some, let's say you're logging into some application, name of application is, let's say, MKT, and while logging, it has two fields in it, text field. One is username, one is password.
Password.
When you are testing your username field, you know that you need to start using your boundary value analysis, test case design techniques, all those things, right?
Yeah.
What testing is called as when you're testing that particular component. That means when you're testing a particular component, maybe a text field, maybe a text area field, what testing is called as that? Testing a particular component.
Particular component. We can call that complete as on a whole as a functional testing because it's related to the login functionality.
Okay.
That is something only related to the username field or password field. I'm not sure what
Okay.
it is.
No issue, no issue. See, when you're talking about the functionality, when you're talking about only the login feature, definitely it's a
Yeah,
functional testing. But if I have, let's say I have two, I am a QA manager in my company and I have two test engineers in my company. I have only two things to check. One is username text field and one is password text field. I will say my user one to work on user text field and I will say my user two to work on password text field. I want them to test in these two components in such a way that you should get a defect. When they are testing that
okay,
particular component, that particular text field, that testing is called as component testing.
okay,
Just telling you for your future reference. I have already uploaded a video on my channel in case you feel like you can watch it later. No issue. Okay. Okay. Can you explain me like pesticides paradox you said me? Okay. Can you explain me a few types of testing that comes under non-functional testing?
non-functional. Regarding non-functional testing,
No, no, no. I'm not asking the definition of non-functional testing. I'm just asking any one type of testing that comes under your non-functional type of testing.
so I can say about the performance testing.
Okay, great.
So uh, to test to verify that stability of the system and the response time. Uh, basically to understand the performance of the system that is called as under various loads. So whether suppose there is an application, there is an application, and that can accept a load of up to 1,000 users at a time. So that is on theoretical basis. So now we want to test that, and we want to test the stability and the response time under various loads. So basically, here we are trying to understand the performance under various loads. So it is this is called as performance testing, and under performance testing, we have one more like load testing.
Okay. You have only one or you have multiple?
One of the types is load testing.
Okay.
I'm not aware of the many other types. I mean, at this point of time, I didn't remember all those.
Okay, sure. What is load testing? Can you just tell me?
So load testing also something similar to that. So we want to understand the performance under maximum load.
Okay.
Like what is the maximum load that can be handled by the system?
Not exactly. That is some different kind of testing. That is called as stress testing. So your performance testing, what you said is okay. Whatever you have said is most of the interviewer who is taking, they will really be happy with your answer. That's can be, but that's not the actual definition of load testing. So you have performance testing, right? Testing the stability,
Yeah.
as you said, and the response time by applying load, as you said, right? That's absolutely the performance testing is. In performance testing, you have multiple types. You have load testing, you have stress testing, you have volume testing, you have endurance testing. It all talks about how much load you are putting and what is the response time and what is the stability. Okay, just because you have spoke about, I'm very happy that you gave me a definition of performance testing. Most of the people, they will not be knowing it. That's wonderful. If you can tell me, what do you mean by stability in your performance testing definition? What is the meaning of stability?
Stability means the response time should be stable.
Yeah, that's correct. That's correct.
So basically, this comes under endurance testing. I think I'm going in the right path now. So basically, the endurance testing means under a certain load, like 500 users are logged into a system, and they are working. I mean, they are working on that particular system continuously for almost an hour or 2 hours.
Yeah.
So during that time, whether the system is stable, I mean, for that much time, is there any after 1 hour or 2 hours? Is there any change in the
behavior of the application? So thank you, Naresh. So guys, that was Naresh with us. We had a good interview session with you. So the inputs that I would like to give you is, frankly speaking, you have a good knowledge, and the questions that I asked was not at all a straightforward question. But the reason I asked you little tricky questions to you because you had an 2.3 year of experience, and that's the reason I asked you. And almost 98% of questions you answered it very well. I'm really happy for that. So that was my suggestion to you. Really happy that you came forward to give an interview. Really impressed. God bless you. Thank you.